How's everyone doing? Today we're going to do part 2 of gut health. So we're going to be talking about the link between gut bacteria, our health, and chronic diseases. So, let a few people come on. Hi. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and get started because I have a lot to cover. So if you're joining me live, comment live below. And if you're catching the replay, comment replay below. That way I can keep up with when everyone is watching. So I have to give my little disclaimer first. I am not a medical professional, but I am a stay-at-home mom. But through my wellness experiences and my research this past year, I have gained a lot of information, and some of that is what I'm going to share with you tonight. So any information I share is not intended to cure, treat, or diagnose any illness. So with that being said, today we're going to be talking about the link between gut bacteria, our health, and chronic diseases. So let's go ahead and get started. Hey, Crystal. Yeah, I know I straightened my hair. If y'all need your hair done, go see my friend Crystal Cox. Hey, Teresa. Okay, gut dysbiosis. Now, these are kind of tricky words, so I'm going to kind of break them down in syllables so I can get them out. So, gut dysbiosis is a general term that refers to any abnormality in our gut microbiota, I think is how you say it. I could be botching these words up, but just, you have to have technical terms, I guess. So this includes too many or too few microorganisms growing in sections of the gastrointestinal tract. Do you hear my child? She's having her a good time. The wrong kind or the wrong balance or in the wrong place. Yes, it all matters. That all contributes to our gut health. So any of these situations can have profound impacts on your digestion, gut barrier health, and the modulation of our immune systems. So if I have lost you totally in the technical terms, basically our gut dysbiosis is strongly linked to chronic diseases. In fact, a link has been found in every chronic disease in which a connection to gut bacteria has been investigated. So they take chronic diseases and they look into if gut has anything to do with it. And almost everyone has been linked to gut bacteria. So I am going to briefly touch on some of these. If there is one or more that you want me to expand on, just comment that issue below and I will sure to tag you when I do that live and expand on that specific issue. And again, don't forget to like, comment, and share this video. Thank you. Okay, let's get started. The first one, mood disorders. So bacteria in the gut activate neural pathways and central nervous systems, signaling systems. Okay, gut bacteria, especially a lack of beneficial bacteria strains, is linked to depression and anxiety. More than a third of depression sufferers also have a leaky gut. Okay. The next one is obsessive compulsive disorder. So dysfunction of the gut microbiome, perhaps related to high stress or antibiotic use, is linked to OCD. So I'm going to give you just the chronic disease or the health issue, and I'm going to give you just a little snippet of how they are kind of tied. And like I said, if there's something you want me to expand on more, just comment that in the comments and I'll be sure to tag you when I expand on that one. Okay. The next one is schizophrenia. So my studies link a lack of normal bacteria with changes in brain development and schizophrenic behavior. Human infants born prematurely are known to lack biodiversity in their guts and be at a higher risk of schizophrenia. The next one is autism. Now this one I probably will expand on just for me, but if you want to hear about it, comment your name below. Autism often co-occurs with gastrointestinal issues like leaky gut or irritable bowel syndrome. So it's all, everything that I'm sharing with you, it all has a connection with your gut bacteria. Parkinson's disease. People suffering from Parkinson's have different microbial composition. Their microbes in their tummies are different than the gut of a healthy person. And again, I apologize. I am botching these words up, but it's very interesting how our gut, how it affects so many different things. Okay, multiple sclerosis. Dysbiosis and the resulting loss of balance in gastrointestinal immune responses are linked to the development of MS and may explain why MS symptoms can be mitigated with therapeutic diets. Cardiovascular disease. Who would have thought cardiovascular disease would have something to do with your stomach gut health? Okay. Certain grain-loving bacteria are known to also convert L-carnitine, which is a protein rich in red meat, into an atherogenic compound called TMAO, raising the risk of cardiovascular disease. Asthma and allergies. So low diversity of gut bacteria, especially early in life, is linked to an increased risk in asthma and allergies. Liver cancer. The same changes in microbial composition that are linked to obesity are known to increase the risk of liver cancer. Obesity. Gut microbes can impact metabolism via signaling pathways in the gut, with effects on inflammation, insulin resistance, and deposition of energy in fat stores. A number of studies show specific microbial patterns associated with obesity. The next one is diabetes. Diabetics have lower levels of beneficial strains of bacteria and skewed ratios of different strains, with lower numbers of gut microbes overall. So some compositional changes in gut microbiota appear to scale with glucose levels. That is, the higher a person's glucose levels are, the fewer total microbes and the more undesirable species of bacteria are likely to be found in that person's gut, which is very interesting that it changes like that with their glucose levels. Okay, the next one is inflammatory bowel diseases. So abnormally high levels of certain undesirable strains of bacteria along with dysregulated immune responses to gut microbes may trigger the development and continuing systems of both Crohn's disease and ulcerative colitis, which most of us knew that inflammatory bowel diseases like that and IBS kind of all with your stomach, things not being quite right. And the next one is irritable bowel syndrome, IBS. So there is a definite link between IBS and an overgrowth of bacteria in the small intestines. Do you hear my daughter? She is having a good time. Okay, so the next one is rheumatoid arthritis. Okay, studies have found a link between low levels of probiotic bacteria and high levels of undesirable bacterial strains with autoimmune joint diseases like RA. And I have a lot of friends who have RA, and these are studies that they have found. Okay, the next one, colorectal cancer. Lower levels of beneficial bacteria as well as higher levels of certain sugar-loving microbes in the gut are linked to an increased risk and growth rates of colorectal cancers. Other cancers. So dysbiosis, which if you remember is when there's too many, not in the right place, bacteria, there's not enough bacteria, there's a missing link, or there's a jumble up of different, bad versus the good bacteria. It's linked to an increased risk of gastric esophageal, pancreatic, laryngeal, breast, and gallbladder carcinomas. Now, sorry, I'm late. Diversity is considered the #1 hallmark of a healthy gut microbiome. When the gut bacteria of people living in Western cultures were analyzed in comparison with those in living in rural settings who had like hunter-gatherer lifestyles, the Western culture, which is us, gut bacteria were found to be significantly lacking in both richness and biodiversity. So this is directly linked to the diets high in industrial processed foods, which don't supply enough nutrition for our good bacteria in our gut to thrive. So the worse our diet, the more our gut suffers, and then we get issues. So we know that diet is the single biggest influence on gut bacteria composition. In fact, diet is directly responsible for more than 60% of the variation in bacterial species in the gut. As we know, grains, dairy, legumes, nightshades, and alcohol are all known to hinder the growth of beneficial strains of bacteria, as well as diets high in sugar. But here is the good news. Okay, the population of microbes in the gut adapts quite rapidly to changes in the diet in a matter of a few days or a few weeks, and that is exciting. So here are some tips. Dramatically increase the intake of fresh vegetables and fruits. It restores levels and diversity of probiotic species in your gut in as little as 3 to 4 days. Yeah. Fish oil supplementation can restore levels of probiotic bacteria in about 2 weeks. So these are the 2 most important dietary factors for supporting healthy and diverse gut bacteria. So here's the rundown, okay? In a nutshell, eat plenty of whole vegetables and fruits. Eat plenty of seafood, omega-3s, okay? Don't go crazy on saturated fats. Easy peasy. Okay, you'll get a good bacteria, good gut bacteria. So as I shared in my last Facebook Live, and I will post a link to that one in the comments, lifestyle also plays a role here. So living an active lifestyle, getting adequate sleep, and managing stress all supports a healthy and diverse gut bacteria community. If you're having trouble with any of these issues, message me and I would love to share what has helped my clients in these areas. Now, I have just touched basically on a few specific health issues and chronic diseases. If you would like for me to expand more on one or more specific issues, just comment them below and I'll do some more specific research on just that one. And I'll be sure to tag you when I do that live. So I want to thank you for hanging out with me tonight, and I hope this may have opened your eyes to how important the role of our gut health is and on our mental and physical health. Don't forget to like, comment, and share this video. And remember, guys, you're worth it. Bye.